We are told that in the year 44 BC, a man called Julius Caesar, a very powerful man, was warned, beware of the Ides of March, beware of the 15th of March. And publicly, Julius Caesar brushed it off. He was not superstitious. He said, I guess he felt he was too powerful, too great, to be reduced to a superstitious person. But fascinatingly, when that date arrived, 15th of March, he remembered the warning. And before that day was over, Julius Caesar was dead. In the country called Kenya, whether you're superstitious or not, whatever you believe, the truth is, the month of August is not a good month. Throughout our history, from even before independence, the month of August has proved itself as the month where very bad things happen in the country called Kenya. Bad, game-changing things. This is not a theory. This is not a rumor. It is a proven fact. Now, I'm making this recording on the 7th day of August, 2021. And already, during these past few days, so much has happened. And it would seem that even a diplomatic row is brewing with our neighbors, Uganda. And of course, all this was triggered by the incident at Wilson Airport, where the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya was not allowed to get on a flight and leave the country. And listening very carefully to what politicians are saying, they obviously know something that the rest of us do not know about the Deputy President and his links with President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda. Bottom line, when an August month starts the way this one has started in the year 2021, one has to brace themselves for the worst. One has to pray, those of us who pray, because I believe bad things can be averted by prayer. Now, let's make a quick recap of the things that have happened in the country called Kenya during the months of August, over the years. Now, the first example I wanted to give unfolded before independence, in 1960 to be precise. And I'm going to leave that example to the last for a very good reason, which will become obvious as I give that example later on this show. So, on 22nd August 1978, Kenyans were shocked and Kenyans were very afraid as a result of what happened. The founding father and first president of Kenya, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, suddenly passed on while still in office. This had never happened before in the country. There was a lot of uncertainty. There was fear. What will happen next? Will there be chaos in Kenya? Etc., etc. On 1st August 1982, there was an attempted coup in Kenya. It was a failed coup, yes, but the consequences and the impact changed the country called Kenya forever. And I've covered this in great detail in a recent separate video. On August 7th, 1998, a day I remember as if it was yesterday, because I was supposed to be on that spot at that exact time. On only that somebody delayed me somewhere and spared me the danger. But that's a story for another day. On that day, a bomb exploded at the then U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, which in those days was at the junction of Moi Avenue and Haile Selassie Avenue. 212 precious souls were lost. Over 5,000 Kenyans were injured, some of them very badly. On August 14, 1990, Bishop Alexander Muge, a harsh critic of the Kenyan government, a great selfless Kenyan, died in a very suspicious road accident. On the same date, in 1992, August 14, 1992, a great Kenyan, great selfless Kenyan, a hero of the country called Kenya, a man who was called Masinde Muliro, arrived in the country on a flight from the UK and suddenly collapsed and died. It was not a natural death. It was an assassination disguised as a natural death. On August 23, 2003, the then Vice President of the Republic of Kenya, Michael Kijana Wamalwa, passed on in a British hospital in the UK. On August 22, 2012, the People's Watchman, a man who had fought for a better Kenya for a long time, for many years, a man called Martin Shikuku, passed on after a long struggle with cancer. And I can go on and on and on, including a very mysterious fire that broke out at the JKIA, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, in the year 2013, in a mystery that is yet to be solved. That also happened in August. It would seem that these things that happen in Kenya in August, and only the month of August, are usually the end of an era, good or bad. And these shockingly terrible things that happen in this month also seem to be the beginning of a new era, whether good or bad. This is best illustrated by the example I skipped of what happened in August 1960. On 18th August 1960, to be more precise, a Mzungu called Peter Poor was hanged at the Committee Maximum Prison, becoming the very first white man, the very first Mzungu to be hanged in the country called Kenya. Now, what Mr. Poole had done is even more fascinating. What he had done that led him to the hangman's noose is even more fascinating. You see, Mr. Poole had been in the British Army. He had really had a good time during the emergency, killing Africans. And after the dust had settled and peace had returned to Kenya, Bwana Poole decided to settle in the country. And he even established a shop, a business, dealing in electricals, because he was an engineer, along what is today known as Moi Avenue. I believe it was called Government Road in those days. And Mr. Poole continued to kill Africans who upset him, and nothing happened to him. He even once shot a policeman, an African policeman. Didn't kill him, but injured him badly. And later he was quoted as having said, his only regret was that that particular policeman had survived. And Mr. Poole had a cook, we call them houseboys in Kenya, a man called Kamawe Musunge, hiyo ni Wiper Party. Paul loved Bwana Musunge's cooking, but there's one thing he didn't know about Bwana Musunge. Like most people who hail from the Kamba tribe, he disliked dogs. Ngite, that's an insult in the Kamba language. It means dog. And one day Bwana Musunge was on his bicycle, riding, going to see his family. And then the Mzungu's Ngite disturbed him. They ran towards him, started barking. And so Bwana Musunge picked up a stone to scare them off and threw the stone towards the two dogs. His boss, Bwana Kubwa, Bwana Paul, noticed this from inside his house. Musunge was already out of the gate in the fence area. And Paul came rushing out and called Musunge, told him to come back. As Bwana Paul went into the house and got his gun. And when Musunge obediently came back, because his boss was calling him, Bwana Paul shot him dead. No big deal. He had done that many times and gotten away with it. But unfortunately for him, this time round, things had changed in Kenya, and Bwana Paul was unaware. He wasn't arrested immediately, but there was a lot of hue and cry countrywide. And finally, Bwana Paul was arrested and put on trial. He was found guilty. He appealed to the highest court. Didn't work. He appealed to the Queen. It didn't work. And so, on 18th August 1960 at Committee Prison, Bwana Paul left this earth via the hangman's noose. Now, I left this particular example for last, not because there's a very fascinating tale behind it only, but also because it was clearly the end of an era. End of an era where a Mzungu in Kenya could get away with anything, even murder. My point is, these bad things that happen in Kenya in August, sometimes they are the end of a very bad era, and the beginning of something better. Really, the beginning of a better Kenya. Now, a quick one before I go. The 1982 deal has been extended to tomorrow, 8th of August, 2021. Rush and take advantage of this once in a very long while offer, because you'll be able to get a live membership to my weekly intelligence briefings, which, as you may have guessed, will get pretty busy during this month of August. In some weeks, I release WABs more than once. That is definitely going to happen during this month of August, the way it's shaping up. Details in the description area below this video on YouTube. My fellow Kenyans, beware of the month of August and join me in serious prayers. Because prayer can change anything.